Hey everyone, so making this video here talking about my experience at the sealed Planetary Qualifier. It was an interesting experience. It lasted like I think 8 hours, at least 8 hours. But there were a lot of people there, and just to kind of show you what I went through. It was hosted here, close on the on the East Coast in Maryland, at a store called Games and Stuff. It's a big store. They have a lot of board games. They have a lot of miniature games as well, and their playing area is huge. So they were able to host our event, which was 123 or 124 people. We started at 10. That's when the event officially started. So they started on time, which was nice. And we were just given instructions on how things were going to happen, because it was the first time Star Wars Unlimited was going to host a sealed Planetary Qualifier. There were certain things or certain processes that we had to go through that was new to me, but might not be new to other players. For example, we had a verification process that's not new to Magic the Gathering players, and I know this because there was a person sitting next to me who is a Magic the Gathering player, and he told me, you know, this is not new for trading card games. It is new to me, so for me it was just a whole new experience. But he was very helpful. He actually helped a lot in terms of like what to do, because a lot of the players around him did not know exactly what the process consisted of. So we were handed these verification forms, and this process took about, I would say, probably close to an hour. With all the instructions given and the things we had to do step by step, it took a little bit of time to get through this verification process. So in order to start the verification process, we were given out these sheets where we had to fill out our name and, you know, all the basic information. And the way it started was that our opponent had to, or not opponent, but the person sitting in front of us had to open up their packs first. That was my case. Or you would open up your packs. Either way, one person had to open their packs first, and the other person opened their packs first. You couldn't, you didn't have time to verify your own stuff yet. That comes later. But the only thing you had to verify was making sure that you had the right amount of cards in the packs. I think 99% of the people there had their correct number of cards in a pack. There might have been one or two that did not have the correct number of cards in the pack, and the judges were quickly there to rectify that. Once you open your packs, these verification forms, what you would do is you would put all your cards stacked up, wrap it up in the form, in the paper, and keep it there until the other person's done. Then once that process was done, that probably took like 10 minutes, then we gave the stack to each other. We swapped stacks with the person's worksheet. And then from there, we verified one by one each card. And if you look at the form is in alphabetical order. There was all the aspects of all this set, Legends of the Force, all the cards were there. So the only thing you had to do was go through where it says total and put how many cards that stack had of whatever it was, right? So for example, here in my sheet, you can see all of my cards where it says total, all the cards that I received in Vigilance, Command, and all the other ones. And then I did this, he did that for me, I did it for him, and then we verified that. That took about 30 minutes, I think. And then once we finished that process, the stacks were handed back to each other. Now, before we actually started deck building, a good idea was to verify to make sure that all the cards were counted correctly. Now, we didn't have enough time, or we didn't get time allotted to verify our own cards. Basically, in order to verify our cards, we had to use our time for deck building. We were giving 30 minutes to deck build, which is not a lot of time. But within those 30 minutes, you also had to verify your cards to make sure all the cards were counted correctly. This is an important part, and I think an important step, because if the person, you know, we're all imperfect. If the person who counted our cards missed one or two, then that could be a penalty or whatever. And this actually happened to the person next to me. The person next to me, the person that verified his deck, actually miscounted 2 cards, and they had to get the judge to make sure everything was correct in terms of the stack. But yeah, this actually is a valid step to do. Verify your cards. Now this took, if you had to verify your cards, this probably took 5 minutes at minimum. And now you're left with 25 minutes to deck build. So now you have this whole stack of 96 cards, and then you have to just build a deck with it. This is challenging because, it's not a lot of time. And plus, if you want to sleeve your cards, you have to at least separate 2 or 3 minutes at minimum to sleeve your cards. So if you're the type of person who likes to think about what to use and how to build and what to put in a deck, 25 minutes is challenging. If you're not verifying your deck, you're using your whole 30 minutes, but I think that's an important step. So within those 25 minutes, I built a deck, and this is the deck I built. So I went Mother Talzin because I actually grabbed a few cards that I thought would work out with this deck, but unfortunately I did not do too well. I did not do well at all at this sealed PQ. I did pretty bad, and I'll show you my notes here that I took. I started taking notes of like my matches and how things went. So just to give you an idea, it was 7 rounds, an hour each. So it was, 7 hours of playing. And that was just the main tournament. If you got top 8, you would have to do a draft. And then that probably took another 4 hours. So people who got top 8 actually had to stick around longer. I went personally, I would say 2-7. And I only won 1 game officially. 1 game I won because the person who I needed to play against did not show up. He dropped. So there's my 2 wins. I dropped the last round, round 7, because it was already 7 o'clock at night and I didn't feel like sticking around for another hour. But I did learn from this deck some of the things that I think I should have done differently, or maybe gone another route. But honestly, with what I pulled, I figured it would be a little bit easier. I had another option for Snoke, but I didn't get a lot of villainy cards. But either way, let me go through my deck here. Mother Talzin was my leader, and I went red with Strangle Cliffs. So that was my leader and base. Alright. Now, my 1-drop cards, or my turn 1 cards, consisted of Witch of the Mist, Owen Lars, Karis, Night Sister Warrior, Infused Brawler, DRK Probe Droid, 2 of those, which actually were really good because a lot of people were playing Obi-Wan, giving experience tokens. I played a Kanan deck, so they were obviously putting shields on creatures, so this one was pretty nice to get. And then my 2 space units in the first turn, Padawan, Starfighter, and Strike Ship. So when it comes to getting the Force on turn 1, I don't think it was such a great lineup for getting the Force. First of all, with Infused Brawler, playing him on turn 1 is such a waste, just because you don't use the When Played ability, which is a good ability to get, especially if you have the Force. But turn 1 is just kind of like a vanilla 2-2. I mean, you got Night Sister Warrior, right, who gives you the Force when you attack. So those are 2 Force units there. I would say 3 Force units from turn 1, with Karis being the strongest of those 3. Oh, well, and also Witch of the Mist, sorry. So we have 4 Force units right from the beginning. I think Karis is still the strongest out of all these, just because her when defeated is nice to have. And then we have Owen Lars, which, it's one of those throwaway units that you can just kind of throw at something, defeat it, and try to find a Force unit. Now, the Force unit I was trying to get in this deck was Old Daka. I grabbed 2 Old Dakas from the packs, and that's why I figured maybe having a Night Sister or type of deck with the Knight trait might be interesting, might be useful. But at the end, Old Daka I probably used twice at the most in the whole tournament, and it wasn't even worth it, honestly, because I probably used it on Night Sister Warrior to draw a card, and maybe played Karis one more time, or another card actually I think I played, but it wasn't useful. But in terms of getting the Force turn 1, I don't think this was definitely a good lineup at all. just 4 force units. And with obviously with Mother Talzin, you want the force right from the beginning, because she you use the force, you give a unit -1/-1, right? Then my next cards here, you know, turn 2 and beyond, consisted of Jedi in Hiding, which is nice, a force unit. Nameless Terror, which is a great card to have if you're playing force decks, because when you attack, your opponent loses the force trait. Sentinel in Space, why not? Fallen Jedi, it's a force unit. Random Creature, had no use for him. Another Sentinel in Space with Graceful Purgle. HK-87 Assassin Droid, I think I used once the ability, which is okay, but still was not able to clear the arena. 2 Oldakas, kind of why I decided to go with the Knight trait deck, but like I said, probably used her twice the whole tournament. Then we have a Knight unit here, Thralls of the Coven. I think this is the one I played again, using Oldaka to remove the damage and play him again. That was cool. Savage Press, another Knight unit I used once, and I think I got removed by a unit. I think it's in my notes here. My misplay was that on the first game, I played Savage, used the force. I was defeated by an Oldaka from another deck that I was playing against, Kylo Green, and he just destroyed my Savage. That was a misplay on my part. Basically got 9 damage free on him. Ravenous Ranthar. These drops here were good. The Ravenous and the Army of the Dead were kind of good cards to have, because you know they're powerful. 7/6. Never used a Grappling Guardian. I did use a Priestess of the Force, I think twice. This card is great because it just gives shields to force units, including himself. I did use these 2 upgrades, Darth Revan's lightsabers and Kylo Ren's lightsabers in the matches, but I mean, they gave a quick boost, but not enough to make a difference. Got a few events here. The Atara Onslaught, ready a force unit with 4 or less power. I think I used once. Strain Essence, I used quite a bit whenever I grabbed it. Deal 2 damage to a unit, the force is with you. So I definitely use this quite a bit. And the Whirlwind of Power, I'm not sure if I used it at all, but yeah, this was the deck. Now to go through my matches here. So round 1 I lost, right? I played a Kylo Green. Like I said, my major misplay was playing Savage and getting defeated, so getting 9 damage immediately hurt big time. Game 2, Chariot was something I couldn't get rid of, and that's kind of like the theme of what happened with this deck, that I couldn't get rid of units quick enough. Because I was playing, for example, a Kylo, you know, he slams big right at the end, and then I also played on game 2, I played Obi-Wan Blue. And that one, he just kept putting on these units with a lot of health, and I couldn't get rid of them. So I felt like my deck was not fast enough in that sense, not aggressive enough. My third one was a Snoke Blue. I won that one. And then my fourth round was an Obi-Wan Red. I lost to that one. My fifth one was a Snoke Blue. I lost to that one. So just trying to get rid of units as fast as possible was just a challenge in this deck. And I feel like 2 points. I feel like I needed, first, to be more aggressive. I needed more force cards right from the beginning to be able to use the ability. But I also needed to be more aggressive on removal. Maybe Shatterpoint or some kind of like Talzin's Assassin, I think, was a key point or a key card in this deck that I was missing. I didn't have any Talzin's Assassins. And also, well, that's one point. Not having enough force units at the beginning, not being aggressive enough to get the force. Second point, cards that I needed to have, like I already mentioned, Talzin's Assassin was one of them, but also a key card I think I was missing in this one was Chariot, some kind of Sentinel on the ground, because I feel like with Mother Talzin's ability, -1/-1 on a unit, it can be something that you need to remove a unit, but you can't slow an opponent down that just keeps flooding the board. Either an Obi-Wan or you know, some other deck that just floods the ground. And if you don't have a Chariot or some kind of Sentinel or some kind of a Talzin's Assassins to remove these units, you won't be able to get ahead. Not with this deck. So that was, I think, the two major mistakes, in my opinion, with this deck. Not having enough force units at the beginning, and also not having a Sentinel to slow down the opponent to be able to catch up and be able to remove their units. So some of the things I learned when playing this deck, and that's something that maybe I will take to my next sealed, which is the sector qualifiers. Sector qualifier is in a few days, and maybe when you watch this video it already passed, but that's something that I'll definitely have to keep in mind for sectors when playing this type of deck. So yeah, that was my experience, and it was a long event. We had no time for lunch. It was fun though, you know, just getting to play the game. Obviously it's not fun to lose so much, but I'm taking it as a learning experience, right? We're all learning to play the game. I do enjoy it. So that was the sealed planetary qualifier. If you have any questions, let me know. Either ask on this video or any of the other social media platforms I have. Just ask me if you have any tips or any concerns. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll gladly go through the questions and answer anything you may have. So yeah, in order to finish this video, which is probably already a 20-minute video, let's do some quick little pack unboxings here, and we'll go with the theme of the deck that I was running and I lost completely to. So let's just go ahead and open up 3 packs and see if we get anything cool. We're still chasing a showcase for the set. Have not gotten one yet. But we have a Grand Inquisitor Hyperspace with a Jedi Temple. Go through our commons here. My Knock, Sorcerer's Blast, Crushing Blow. Our uncommons are a Sing, Calm the Storm, Van A. Oh, nice. Legendary Darth Malik. That would have been a nice little card to have, I think, maybe. And then a Jedi in Hiding foil. Cool. 1 legendary in the packs. Let's go to pack 2. I like ending the videos with pack openings just because it's fun to open packs. And plus the new set of Secrets of Power is coming out pretty soon. Oh, we have our rare leader, Navarre. Crystal Caves. And then our commons. Consumed by the Dark Side, Pounce. No Hyperspace common. And then we have our Caretaker Matron uncommon. Calm the Storm again. Pelimoto Hyperspace. And then we have a Luke Skywalker, which is a nice rare to get. Luke Skywalker. And then a Grappling Guardian. Alright, let's go to the last pack. Showcase to end a sad tournament. Let's see, showcase. No, but a rare Barasafi Hyperspace, which is a cool looking card. I've been trying to make a deck with her too. Not easy. Holy City. Then we have our commons. No Hyperspace common. Okay. Luthen Rail. Uncommon. Lord Santeca. Quinlan Boss. And then a rare Kid Fistos Aether Sprite. And a Hyperspace foil heirloom lightsaber. Shiny. Looks cool. Alright. That was the pack openings there. Some of the cards we got. Got a legendary. Nice. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. My next one will probably be the sector qualifier update, just to kind of give an idea of like how my experience went, and look out for social media. I'll be recording some of that stuff as well as I walk in and stuff, and then we'll have a few more videos here. The new set comes out in about a month, so we're almost to the new set, and we're going to be talking about that one in a little bit. So thank you all for watching, and until the next video.